in heaven, I could look back and say that the Lord found a use for me in my life. My transformation is, I'm going to say, from a cockroach to a human because I'm a survivor. I've been through a lot of trials and tribulations in my life. A lot of it self-induced. And now I feel that it's time for me to break out of the shell, survive the nuclear apocalypse that I created in my own life, and return to salvation with Jesus Christ. My life growing up, I would call myself fairly typical for a New Yorker. I was born and raised Roman Catholic. Mom was, God rest her soul, devout church lady. The novenas, the first Fridays, all the stuff. I went to a Catholic school. I went to a Jesuit high school. I went to a Franciscan college. So religion and faith was always integrated into my life. As you grow older and you're exposed away from the protective womb of the home and you move outward, there's all these influences in you. Then God stopped being part of my everyday, every week life. I stopped going to Sunday masses. Always believed. My faith never wavered in the existence of God and Jesus. But I don't think, and I now know, I didn't really accept him as my Lord and Savior then. I came to know Christ after a series of events that, in hindsight, it's painfully obvious to me that God was calling me back, and I was just too arrogant, proud, stupid, dense, distracted to realize it. A subtle reminder from a mentor of mine from work, who we were out having dinner and said, "Can we have grace?" And that must have been like 8 years ago, and it sticks in my mind. And I said, "Grace." Um, then there were certain times in my life, I'm like, of Jesus calling to me. When my parents, my dad passed, I was really close to my father. And I did not go to my Roman Catholic church for solace. One of my dear friends brought me here, and Pastor Ed said a prayer for me. And that moved me to tears, literally. And at that point, I realized there was one important person in my life I needed forgiveness from. And that was Jesus Christ, because I had abandoned him for decades. And I kicked him to the curb and I left him alone. The final moment when I realized that I had to return to Jesus was in East New York. I'm at work. I get this panicked phone call full of tears and accusation and acrimony. That's bad, bitter feelings. And at that point, I'm sitting in my car, and I had that moment that I was alone in the world. I had estranged myself from my sisters. I didn't have my parents. I had no close friends, and I was utterly and truly alone. And I did not want to be alone anymore. And I knew the one person, thinking back, the footsteps story, where you look back in your life and all the times that Jesus will walk beside you and then he's not. It wasn't that he abandoned me, he was carrying me. And that little plaque sitting over my bed came to mind again. And I knew he was always with me, and he would still be with me even to this day and beyond. That was the moment I said, okay, I'm accepting Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. I'm sorry for abandoning you, and I want to walk next to you and beside you and follow you again. I hope that he would be able to use me to be a light for him, to be a vessel through which he can bring salvation to at least one person.